Got back from a week-long cruise with the family. It
Wow.
was very nice. I had zero cell service and zero internet, so I got zero notifications for an entire 7 days. It was insane.
How was that?
Really good. Just nice to truly feel kind of detached from the rest of the world.
Love that.
Yeah. And I have a new feeling of boundary when it comes to my day to day instead of just feeling like I'm plugged into everyone at all times. I do have some really good news to report though on coming back. I ran my first intake before going and I set it up so that over the 7 days that I was gone, boom, email, 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 email. And so it was 8 emails. The last three were the only ones that invited people with an offer doc. And I got three people to sign up just without saying really much. And then one guy is in conversation with me about one-on-one coaching instead. So it
Let's
worked great.
go.
Yeah, and this is off of like an email list that sort of doesn't exist. Like I've never sent emails, I don't have that many contacts, but it was just exactly as you said, sort of scraping the cream off the top and felt really nice to come back to, my phone. I was nervous that I was just going to have a ton of messages of like, fires to put out. And instead it was like, here's three new people who just signed up for your thing while you were out on vacation. Yeah, it's fun.
Dude, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much for guiding me to that. I would not have done that if it wasn't for you setting me on that course. So thank you.
I'm so proud of you. This is
Thank you.
this is awesome. Just the beginning.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
What do you attribute that to?
I think there's a lot of ingredients, as you said. For one, it's just, as you always say, making more offers. I actually set people up to have an offer. It wasn't just a one email. In the past, I've done that where I'm just like one email, spray and pray, nothing
Yeah.
happens. And I'm like, it didn't work. This
Yeah.
time it was like, all right, let me follow Ani's structure. Let me actually put some thought into how do I build this up, gas it up, and then use the sort of principles of buyer psychology, the open doors, etc. Just following all of that is really impactful. And then I used AI, I used Claude to help me write everything out. But
Yeah.
when I transferred it from Claude to emails, I was like, okay, let me get in here. And I put my energy into it. And that was the main thought. It was like, how do I actually put me into this, even though I'm not a good writer?
Yeah.
So I think that made a big difference. And yeah, I actually really liked having I think it was important that I had the need to get it set before I left because it
Yeah.
forced me to get it done. I didn't necessarily like, over rush it, but I also was like, this has to get out before I leave because I will literally have no ability to do anything until I go. And I had to some degree, dot my I's and cross my T's because I literally couldn't, I had zero service. I didn't even get a single notification in 7 days.
Self,
This is my group offer, archetype athlete. So it's
the
not,
one that we made some tweaks and
yeah,
we wanted to validate it.
yes.
So it's instant validation.
Yeah,
With the right indoctrination pieces in place, the energy that you put in to generate new attention actually has a way to flow and turn into money,
yeah,
right? That's the link that's broken for a lot of people because they can post content, but that content doesn't really lead to new clients, doesn't lead to someone actually paying them money. And that's where then once we add in a low ticket product, because we started talking about that, then we have ways of people coming in and then you can indoctrinate them and then put them through an intake. The cool thing is you've already kind of validated how this can work on autopilot without you being involved.
yeah. The coolest part about that is like my belief system being poked at in the best way.
What beliefs just got dismantled.
I mean, I've been a time for money guy for my whole career, and stepping away and literally not having a single finger in anything, so to speak. That was not literal.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Rewriting that story of things can come to me and I don't have to go get everything
Right.
actively.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to get people on calls, you don't have to close them, you don't have to convince them.
Yeah,
The offer does all the heavy lifting, the offer does the selling,
sure.
and the indoctrination does the warming up over email, which, like, if we
Yes.
add a few targeted YouTube videos, right, imagine how much more indoctrination we can create.
Well, I don't want to imagine I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Yeah. So what I want to do is turn this intake sequence into your client campaign
Okay.
that just gets set up and goes to every new lead or every new customer on autopilot,
Amazing.
right? So imagine you have a low ticket product that's selling from ads. It's every day new people are finding it, some people buy, and then the people who buy, they get enrolled into this autopilot ascension sequence and they get those emails. They've watched the product that they bought. They're getting more familiar with you. They're getting more indoctrinated into your world, into your values. And then the intake sequence does the rest,
Mhm.
right? And those people, because now, so the funny thing is, we just validated two things in one shot. One is the offer, and the second is an intake sequence.
Yeah.
So now we can make that intake sequence the standard automated ascension system. And then as long as we put a piece at the front that gets new people, you pretty much have an automated client acquisition system running,
Praise.
right? That's the holy grail, right? Like you don't spend all your time trying to get clients. Like that's just happening auto magically.
Yeah.
And you
That's
still
the
create
goal.
content, but like your content actually does something. It actually turns attention to income.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm super excited about this. Thank you again.
Absolutely, man. What a pleasure. It's so cool to see like the pieces are starting to fall in place.
Yeah.
So this is the reward for the persistence.
The decade of banging my head against the wall.
Yeah, yeah. As challenging as that is, I it's earned dopamine versus unearned dopamine.
Yeah.
If everything was easy, then there would be no meaning. And that's not a permission slip for us to keep making things hard, but you put in the work to get the expertise to like really work through your own process to package the expertise to position it and all that.
Yeah.
That takes time. That's a funny thing about this idea of pay to exist because it's not necessarily like everything on easy mode, though, we try to put as many things on easy mode as possible, but the path to get there sometimes is more arduous because we're part of like 0.0001%, maybe a few more zeros there of the world who actually gets to do something that they love and enjoy how they do it. And that's a pretty exceptional category to be in. So now we get to make it easy. Like you've done the hard part.
It's a good reminder of
Amazing.
the small segment of the world that gets to do what they love.
Right.